All signs point to this, as the Toronto Blue Jays have been pursuing many players. A brand new report has dropped from a reliable source revealing that talks have intensified surrounding a starting pitcher. We're going to break down exactly what that report is and discuss who this pitcher is. We also have a massive update surrounding Anthony Santander, as his decision is imminent. So stay tuned for all that in this episode. But before we get into it, folks, quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. If you're a part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Jays content. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And again, there's a lot of reports going around. We all want the Jays desperately to make a move, and that is no surprise, no secret. But a brand new report has dropped from Hector Gomez and revealing, and again, Hector Gomez, fairly reliable reporter, especially when it comes to different pitchers. And in this case, it is a starting pitcher. And we'll go over some other reports that have been flying as well. But I want to start with this source. The Blue Jays have shown interest in Jose Quintana. Talks have intensified recently. And this, dropped very late last night. And of course, we're thinking about the Blue Jays and who they've been pursuing. Hector Gomez, obviously, he's very good at predicting Dominican players, and he's also just a very solid reporter in general. He has some sources. And in this case, the Jays are showing interest in Jose Quintana. Jose Quintana is a very intriguing player. And when you start to think about who the Jays and why this makes sense for the Jays, I know a lot of fans out there might be saying, hey, why are the Toronto Blue Jays going for starting pitching? They desperately need bats. They need all these different things. The big news here for me is that A, the talks have intensified recently, and B, I actually don't hate it for the Blue Jays at all. I think it makes a ton of sense. And you think about what the Blue Jays starting rotation looks like right now. You have Bowden Francis, Chris Bassett, Kevin Gausman, all these different guys. Uriel Rodriguez is the one that would get pushed out in this move. José Berríos as well. So what this would do, A, you'd get a veteran, very solid, and we'll show you his stats in a minute. Very solid lefty. He's a veteran. B, you're pushing Uriel Rodriguez out and down, out of the rotation, back into the bullpen, which is something we know the Jays desperately want to do. It lengthens a very weak bullpen, and he's better in the bullpen anyway. So it kind of kicks two birds with one stone here. And he's also just a very good pitcher. He has a ton of experience. He's coming off of an extremely good year with the New York Mets, 2 solid years with the New York Mets, and he's just a good pitcher. He logged almost 200 innings last season, and I know that fans out there want the Jays to make a massive move. They want them to, of course, swing for the fences and get a guy like Corbin Burns, who obviously is signed now with the Diamondbacks. But as you start to look at this move, it makes some sense, and I really like the fit for this. This doesn't mean they're out on Anthony Santander, which we have an update for him later in the video. It doesn't mean they're out on a lot of the big hitters. And actually, I think if they go out and get a guy like Quintana, it shows, hey, he would probably take a maybe 1-2 year deal. They're going to compete, and they're going to have to go out and add a guy like Santander anyways. So adding a very reliable veteran starting pitcher, who is also a lefty, by the way, makes a ton of sense to me. And I'm curious to see, leave down below what your thoughts are on this report and on this idea, because there's been a lot of things circling around. We heard from Cardinals Live, like you saw earlier in the video, that they have interest in Steven Matz, Eric Fedde. Nothing 100% confirmed. I know they're looking for a left-handed pitching option. Heard Quintana as well, maybe Heaney. This was yesterday morning. And of course, later in the night, Hector Gomez dropped the tweet about Jose Quintana. Talks have escalated recently. And when you're looking at this, Hector Gomez is very reliable when it comes in these situations. And to say talks have intensified recently, I'm going to, all signs are pointing to, I would lean towards this deal is probably going to happen. We've heard it from multiple different sources now. We've also heard it earlier on in the offseason regarding, of course, them pursuing a starting pitcher. We've heard Steven Matz, which would be a trade for Jose Quintana. Very, very interesting. Andrew Heaney, we've heard rumors of as well. I would much prefer at this point Jose Quintana over a lot of these guys. And you see this here, great number 5 and a lefty from Claps. I mean, yeah, he is a very good number 5 pitcher in the MLB, and specifically over the past couple of seasons since 2022, he has been really solid, and he'd be someone that would give this rotation incredible depth, but not only incredible depth, again, a veteran lefty. It's something that this rotation desperately needs. You have Chris Bassett, you have Kevin Gausman, you have José Berríos, you have Bowden Francis. You don't have a lefty at this point. You throw in a lefty in there who has veteran, again, experience, playoff experience, all these different things, was obviously with the Mets last year, and you go out there, and now this starting rotation is looking really good. And if Bowden Francis can do half of what he did last year, it's looking elite. And then you shift Uriel Rodriguez to the bullpen. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. And again, we saw way back, this was from, I believe, early in October, an article dropped from Bleacher Report. Zachary Reimer listing Toronto among potential fits for former All-Star pitcher Jose Quintana. The lefty team cooked as an effective starter late in the 2010s and early 2020s, but not anymore. A 3.39 ERA over his last 76 starts in 3 seasons. He's a fastball, curveball, changeup guy. Put a twist on his formula, and it would make this lineup or roster and the starting pitching staff look a lot better. He'd probably be the number 4 starter for the Blue Jays, depending on how Bowden Francis does. And the projected deal for him, 1 year, $10 million, 2 years, $26 million, something like that. I don't think he's going to cost a ton. And realistically, I wouldn't be surprised if Jose Quintana secures a 1 year deal here. 1 year, $10 million, 1 year, $12 million, even upwards of like 1 year, $15 million if the Jays want to overpay a little bit to make sure that they get this guy. Makes a ton of sense to me. Is it this, the flashiest, splashiest move the Jays can make? No, but it would do a hell of a job going towards building a solid foundation for next season, and that's exactly what this would do. So let me know down below what your thoughts are on this. A lot of reports going on surrounding a bunch of different things. We're going to keep you up to date with that. But we also have an update surrounding Anthony Santander. Now, I know that Jays fans want Santander. We know that reports have been coming out. We saw a report yesterday saying that Anthony Santander is very interested in playing for the Toronto Blue Jays, and that report was from Cardinals Live, who's been getting things right, left and right. He's been getting things right like crazy. Again, he predicted the Quintana, and then, of course, was verified by Hector Gomez here. As you start to look at now, Anthony Santander, Hector Gomez says it is very likely that everything will be decided this week surrounding Anthony Santander. And again, it's Tuesday morning as the time of the upload, so things are going to go down fast. As of the time of recording, Santander hasn't signed. My prediction is something like Thursday or Friday, a deal will get done. I'm hoping it's with the Jays, and it seems to be the holdup now is the money. He's fine coming to Toronto. Toronto wants him desperately. Reports from Hector Gomez are that the Anthony Santander offer is 4 years, $82 million. Santander wants 5 years, $100. I think they might find a middle ground, maybe 4 years, $93 million, 4 years, $92 million. It's going to be up to Santander at this point to decide what he wants to do, but a decision is imminent for Anthony Santander. And I think at this point, it's probably best that the Jays continue to pursue other options while he makes this decision, which is why, again, when Hector Gomez says talks have intensified recently, this is leaning me to believe that a move is going to come regarding Quintana. Is it going to be with the Jays? I hope so. I really like this fit. It's not the flashiest option, but it's a guy who's been under the radar, back-to-back seasons with a sub-4 ERA and a ton of innings. He's been eating innings, and he does not give up a ton of home runs either. So I'm excited. And again, I know you guys, I see the comment section. I see you all down there very pessimistic about the team because of the way that Ross Atkins has been running it, all these different things. I don't disagree with you, but there's still players left to make this team better, whether it's Jose Quintana, whether it's a guy like, Eric Fedde. There's a lot of different guys, Steven Matz. Are they exciting? No. Do they need hitting? Absolutely. They need to get Anthony Santander. If they strike out on him, things are going to be very, very rough for the Jays unless they pivot quickly to a guy like Jurickson Profar. But regardless, we're going to keep you up to date with all the latest news, so make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and let me know what your thoughts are on Jose Quintana potentially being to the Toronto Blue Jays if talks have reportedly escalated recently. So we're going to keep you up to date with that. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.